Alright, hey guys, how are we doing? This is our second featured build for Project Diablo 2 Season 7. It is a build that also got some key changes. It is now 5 bolts per soft point. Currently, as of stating this, the tooltip appears to be bugged and it's no longer updating the number of bolts. However, you're supposed to be getting an extra bolt every 5 soft points. So we should be having, instead of 10, we should be having like 17, I believe, with level 35. We'll also, of course, test it with more skillers as well to show you guys more bolts. We're going to test the last season's approach, though, which is to just max out these lightning damage large terms so that you get a lot more damage per bolt. And we'll show you guys the effectiveness of both of those approaches here. At any rate, this is the Javazon for Project Diablo 2 Season 7. Just promised to be a beast. Enough strength to wear your gear, dex for max block. Since you already need to invest a lot of dex for your weapon, it makes sense to get a max block shield as well, something that works. And then you max out your life. Pretty basic stuff, honestly, for that. When it comes to some of the more advanced stats, faster cast rate, anywhere between 48 and even 99 is possible and possibly advised. Of course, we can getting a lot of attack speed is also very key. Considering more attack speed, the more bolts start flying. Of course, I like mobility on this build, so I go Enigma. But you can get even more attack speed if you use something like Arcane's Valor, so keep that in mind. And you're going to want as much Pierce as possible, which we'll get through the gear, and at least some source of life and mana leech. And negative enemy lightning res. On our skills, we are going to also have a maximum lightning fury, maximum lightning bolt, and power strike. Lightning bolt is your single target ability on this build. Don't forget it. It actually does 37,000 damage upon hitting a single target. So it's actually not like LOD. You don't go charge strike. Good stuff. I do like some of these for some extra physical leech, getting like 1 point to javelin and spear mastery as well on there. Nothing in the bow tree. Same thing here, some attack rating for that leech on penetrate, just 1 point. I max out pierce to get that extra FCR. You can also use razor tail though if you want to get your FCR elsewhere and then not have to max out pierce. But there's really not a lot of other places to put your points because unlike an LOD or D2R, there's not 4 synergies here, there's only 2. So may as well kind of just min-max the build that way. And then of course you put some points into dodge and evade. And of course you can just max out Valkyrie with the rest of them. Blah blah blah. Skill-wise, the build works pretty much exactly the same as LOD, except for the fact, once again, you're not using Charge Strike. And of course, you're going to use that maxed out Lightning Fury. We're actually going to show this build using a couple of different setups, kind of like we are doing with all these build showcases here. These are mini guides build showcases for Project Diablo 2 Season 7, once again. Enjoy. Anyway, this build definitely thrives off of density. And it's very strong. As you can see, no shortage of power. This has been a very strong build in Project Diablo 2 and D2R for a very long time though. All that life leech off of the bolts is pretty insane. There's a lightning in there. That's kind of nice. This is Ancestral Trial. This is a very good tier 2 map for her here. Showing off this approach. It does look like there are indeed more bolts coming out. This number of bolts is pretty insane. Excellent group mapper. Excellent build to have in the dungeon. They did overall buff the number of bolts on this build in Season 7, making this a really sick build. Of course, we will also take a look at other Zon builds as well, though. Alright, so I think you guys kind of get the idea, and as you can see, the more density, the merrier. Every time we kind of hit more density, it's pretty insane. course, we can show it off in some different things as well. Yeah, so like it's gonna be better in high density than something like Chain Lightning a little bit maybe. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, at the very top of the bracket, builds have very similar power, kind of just depending on what maps you're going for and whatnot, just in general. Wish you could corrupt maps. That would be nice. Yeah, so like an ultra high density Blood Moon or something is kind of a good way to show just how good this ability can get.
I need a key.
Oh, I have negative FCR. Oh no, I have negative FHR. Oh crap. That's right, I've forgotten beta, that's a thing. It's only on beta. It's a negative FHR map, which means I'm gonna dance in place if I get hit. I don't have FHR, so let's not get hit. Yeah, you can check out my tier list from last season, exclamation S6 tier list. We're working on trying to figure out where some of this stuff is. So what's interesting is, as you can see, Lightning Fury is still crushing, right? I like the feel of having some more bolts, it's kind of nice. I'm trying to figure out if the buff actually went through or not though yet. Might end up having to redo this video, we'll see what happens as the beta progresses. Kinda cool to see though. Alright. Now, if this actually holds true, and these buffs actually hold true, you're actually going to want to take advantage of the number of bolts here slightly, and you're going to want to try to get at least to level 48. Or sorry, 45. What did I say? 48. 45. Yeah, so yeah, if you can get it to 45 there, you should be getting 19 bolts, assuming of course you are actually getting the bolts currently and it's not just a tooltip error. But either way, it's kind of interesting to see though. So you do quite a bit less damage here. Do about 200 less damage per bolt, but you actually have more bolts though. At least you should. It's kind of a... I think one reason they made this change is to incentivize actually using the javelin skillers again. Right, and having the more plus skills is going to be better in higher density, whereas lower density would probably be better with the lightning damage large charms. Okay, and of course we're going to do... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that too. You can do like 40 skill and do like a mix of the two. Here are coins being counted nearby. Hey, it's the new Geed event. Let's go talk to Geed.
Good day.
I like how the monsters totally ignore Geed. I should be able to kill him. I think that's like part of this event. It should be like protecting Geed. And if you're not able to protect him, then he dies. And then you don't get anything. I don't think that's how it currently works though. Let's see. Yeah, no, monsters don't care about Geed. Doesn't seem like a huge difference with 2 extra bolts. Yeah, not really. As a matter of fact, I think her damage dropped a bit. Like I said, I think using the skillers probably doesn't matter too much, but yeah. Cranium Basher. Damn. Torch of Iroh. Wizard Spike. That's kind of cute. That was a move. Geed seems kind of OP, honestly. Alright. Any rate, though, so that's pretty good. We will... Yeah, I think I'll just put these away for now, honestly. I think having more damage per bolt instead of just getting 2 extra bolts might still be better. That's what it feels like. But, you know, that's part of why we showcase these builds. We were showcasing them as we test them here, so you guys can see exactly what we're discovering. Alongside you guys, of course. Alright, here we go. Yeah, he actually drops some of his items if he dies. Right, he'll drop... If he dies, he drops like 1 unique item. And if he's still alive, he sells 5. Yeah. Yeah. There you go, people can get a guaranteed unique if he dies. That's a... That could actually be pretty funny. Just observe that it's interesting. And also, is there a single map event where you have to like protect something? I don't think so. You know, I feel like we need like a Diablo 4 inspired map event in PD2 here. You know how there's all those like protect events in D4? I should have one of those. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan, I think, of the higher damage. You can tell the higher damage is definitely paying dividends here. It's about as strong as lightning, I'd say, overall. Yeah, I think it's... I think the higher damage is still doing more, but I'm also not 100% sure for actually getting the extra bolts, which is, I think, part of the problem here, but it's okay. A lot of updates don't always go through properly, you know. Anyway, we already know. Lightning Fury is abusive build though. There we go. Lightning Fury is OP, bro. Let me go do a couple of more maps here, and then we're gonna actually move on to a different build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Javazon demo here. Pretty basic stuff here. Javazon's looking pretty good. What other maps should we do, chat? What do we think? Throne of Insanity, maybe? I like Throne of Insanity. I think it's a pretty solid map, personally. You buy all the items, he disappears. I think you should just, like... I think Geed should be able to die. I think that's a... He can make us sound like... Oh. You finally get the satisfaction watching that money grubber get wrecked. I think that's worth something. How does it feel to be on the battlefield, dude? Doesn't it feel good, huh? What I like about Lightning Bolt is that it's freaking strong. Looks pretty strong, right, chat? I think it's pretty strong. Yeah. I'd say it's a top tier build, right? Right. Anyway. It's looking good. What does that mean? It does more if you get more density. The monsters dying actually makes it worse. So like if I could turn it to player's 8 right now. It's actually kinda nuts. By the way, this fade, notice how I don't really need res, because my res is now, my lightning res is max if I get faded, so. I don't know if fade and life leech, I don't really need res. Some of you guys were mentioning that earlier. Unfortunately in Players 1 you can never show the upper limits of DPS very well, but you can at least show the lower limits. It's nice. Lightning Fury is strong. Amazon sounds like a tennis match. Maybe that's what she is secretly. She's a tennis match. There you go. Does Rabies seem stronger than this or weaker? What do you think? I take into account mobility potentially. Oh yeah. F. No res. No res, gang. So good, man. So good.
Not in town.
Sounds like a tennis match. Rabies at this density. I mean, I've played Rabies. I don't know. Seems similar enough. The thing about Rabies is you don't have quite as much mobility, right? I mean, it does spread as long as you run ahead of it, yeah. I think it depends on the situation for Rabies, right? These are all very strong abilities we've been testing so far for the most part. Blizzard, I would say, is like the weakest thing we tested, and it also got changed, but yeah. Ah, PD2. Enchantress on what? Yeah, we played PD2 as well. Believe it or not. That's pretty good. Well, I mean, you're really tanky on this build too, but yeah, no, Rabies is really insane for sure. Oh no, it's hard to say. I think Rabies, because of like the tankiness and like how cheap it is as well, it's just super busted. Like, it's cheaper than everything too. And it's like, it hits everything and everything just melts around you. I don't know. You liking the 60 FPS? Oh yes, I definitely am. It's actually 144 for me. I don't know if it's actually at 144. Did you know you can like modify this? I'm hitting the maximum for my monitor, so supposedly this is 144 FPS actually. Supposedly.
What is it?
I honestly, I can notice it a little bit, but it really doesn't affect gameplay because this Lightning Fury is better than you expected, but still seems slower than Lightning. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so for Lightning Strike, we go Infinity Spear, right? Alright, anyway. Lightning Fury demo, GG. Hopefully you guys learned something. Might have to remake this short guide if we do determine that that change didn't actually go through. But I think it did. And if it did, Lightning Fury is still looking crazy strong. Russian face, but yeah. See you guys in the next short.